Did you know the very trauma you've experienced could be the key in unlocking your ultimate manifestations? Now, the reason why I'm speaking about this is I've had a lot of my past clients and some recent comments on TikTok of people talking about their trauma holding them back. Now, me personally, I have gone through every type of trauma you could possibly list off, and I personally believe that it has been my superpower and contributing to my most successful manifestations. We'll be going into that, but I also want to go into how you personally can reframe your trauma and use it to shift your energy, channeling it and alchemizing it into your ultimate desires. But before I get into that, those of you that are new to me, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Alchemystic. My channel is about manifestation, law of assumption, and spiritual topics. If that resonates with you, consider subscribing. For those that are returning to me, thank you so much for returning to me. And if you are returning to me because I used to do tarot readings, go check out my reintroduction video and my video on tarot. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. First, I want to say this really quickly. Trauma is a significant emotional event that shapes how we see ourselves in the world. Let me explain this briefly. This could turn into maybe you've experienced some type of abandonment, that I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy. These beliefs become part of our dominant thoughts, influencing our manifestations. In this sense, most people think that their trauma is a block, that they have to do some type of healing work. They need to go to a healing practitioner. They need to release all this stuff in order to get what they actually want. And if you resonate with that, that's awesome. You could go ahead and still do those things. However, it's my personal belief that trauma is not a block. It's a doorway to self-awareness and transformation. What this can look like, and let me kind of go through this with you, is let me ask you this. What if you could turn your pain into a superpower? We know that deep, intense emotions manifest easily. They manifest the quickest, right? And sometimes it could be not having any emotions towards it at all. You just think it once and it shows up. However, it's been my experience and other people's experience that those intense emotional triggers manifest the fastest. And it's usually something negative, like you think, oh man, I might get fired today. And then it happens because you're putting so much emotions into it. So energy is neutral until you assign a meaning to it, be it positive or negative. Whether it's a positive emotion or a negative emotion, the universe sees it as the same thing. Again, you could think, I'm going to be fired today, and then you're right. It shows up in your reality. You could also think, oh man, I've been doing so amazing. I'm such an amazing employee. I'm going to get a raise today. I'm going to get a promotion. And then it happens, right? Have you ever experienced that before? Either one? That's how you can kind of reframe it. Another example here, instead of seeing abandonment as a rejection, see it as proof of your strength to overcome and rebuild. Hear me out on this. People talk about the brightest smiles are covering the most pain. Why do you think that is? Because those people choose to not let their pain define who they are, to not let those past perceived experiences say who they should be right now. The brightest sunshine and rainbows come after the biggest storms. That's another phrase that a lot of people say. You can take those experiences and just show how strong you are. If you could overcome this big traumatic event, what else can you do? Use that as your strength, as your superpower. When you use this as your superpower and you reframe it and release the resistance of thinking that you're not good enough, this is what aligns you with what you want, not what you fear. That's what I mean by using this as your superpower. Let's talk about this and break it down step by step. Step number 1 is awareness. You need to identify that limiting belief your trauma created, such as, I'll never be loved. Why is that? Why do you really think that? Dig deep down. And you got to ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about this experience? What am I telling myself about me because of blank? You can write this down. You can sit there and think about it. You can meditate on it, whatever works best for you. Then step number 2 is to reframe that belief and replace it. Replace the limiting beliefs with empowering ones, such as, I deserve unconditional love. Sure, this was my past, but it doesn't define who I am right now. You can do affirmations, you can do scripting to help reinforce this, but really you need to see yourself as deserving of whatever you're trying to manifest. Step number 3 is emotional alchemy, and this is what I specialize in. Emotions linked to trauma are super powerful. Use them as your fuel to your fire. Think of being that phoenix that rises from the flames. Example, turn your anger into determination. Turn your sadness into empathy for others and for yourself, because others really are you. And visualize everything. So you could picture the energy from your trauma turning into a golden light that flows towards your desired outcome. Let's say, for example, you grew up in extreme poverty and now you're wanting to make 7 figures a year, right? You could see that trauma of struggle and not having enough and not feeling like you've got enough to go around, and then transmuting that energy into a golden light that flows towards the life that you actually deserve and desire. Step number 4, this is about inspired action. You should be taking steps that are aligned with the new belief system. And as the example of someone that grew up in extreme poverty and now they want to be a multimillionaire, how does a millionaire act and move? You need to become that. Align with that belief system. If your trauma told you, I'm nothing, I came from nothing, I always have nothing, I always struggle, take the steps towards the actions that reinforce that you are abundant, that you are amazing, that you are powerful, that you are deserving of all of the things that you want. And then you might get inspired action to take, such as a new job opportunity, such as a business idea, and go towards that, because that's inspired action. Another method that you can use for this is, of course, visualization. And not everyone is great with visualizing. If you're not great with visualizing, you can always hear things, right? Imagine hearing the things that you need to hear. You can also journal, you can script, but I want to talk about visualizing for just a moment. So you need to visualize with gratitude. First, close your eyes and visualize a past trauma, no matter what that is. And imagine rewriting that story with an empowering outcome. Example here, finding your voice and stepping into your worth. Let's say in the past, you didn't speak up, you didn't say your truth. Rewrite that past story as you did say your truth, you did speak up for yourself. And then thank the experience for teaching you resilience, courage, and most of all, love. Visualize your manifestations as the reward for transmuting this energy. This is now your reward for all of the work that you've done. In conclusion here, I just want to emphasize that trauma is not a block. It's an untapped energy source that's actually your superpower. By reframing using alchemy and taking inspired action, you can manifest anything. You are that powerful. Remember, the universe responds to your energy. When you take control of your story, you are taking control of your life. Now, if everything that I said to you resonates with you and you've felt that within your soul, maybe you've had an experience like this where you've shifted a trauma and reframed it into something amazing. If you have, comment, let me know. I would love to hear about it. Also, if you have an experience currently that you're trying to transmute into something else, comment that as well, and maybe I can help you with a few steps. Again, if you resonate with this video, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you'll get notifications of all my videos that are coming out. And share this video with anyone who needs to hear this message. And it's always my assumption that anyone that watches my videos whether that's day or night, has the most amazing day or night of their lives. And I truly hope that that's the same case for you. Take care.